So fast, it's worth the wait.
Montella Inc. is a family-owned dumpster rental business located in Stanhope, New Jersey that's been around since 1984. We provide prompt quality service at a reasonable price for our New Jersey customers, whom we consider our family. We don't just take out the trash. Montella Inc. is a full-service waste management company servicing demolition sites, construction projects, factory sites, shopping centers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. Call today at 973-927-2232.
Athletic Fields of America in Montville, New Jersey has become an industry leader in synthetic turf. Serving the greater New York, New Jersey, and Eastern PA regions, we have delivered hundreds of both synthetic turf and natural grass sports fields for youth and recreational levels all the way up to the highest standards and requirements of the NCAA. Our goal with every project is to provide our customers with exceptional workmanship, extraordinary service, and professional integrity while constructing a superior product that you can enjoy for years to come. Visit athleticfieldsofamerica.com.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
For all of the perks that come with working here, I would say that the most valuable thing WIS offers is freedom. The freedom to make the most of your role, to really go beyond the job description, the freedom to think differently and be rewarded for it, and the freedom to show up as 100% who you are.
At Pascarella Brothers, we love creating great food for our customers.
Everything is made daily using real fresh ingredients, and you can taste the difference.
We specialize in creating gluten-free options for our customers, all prepared in a separate area so there's no cross-contamination.
We also pride ourselves on providing unparalleled catering for events big and small.
We love what we do.
Stop into Pascarella Brothers.
You'll taste the difference.
My room is so cold, my fish froze.
Mine's so hot, my sneakers melted.
Rooms with different temperatures? That means your HVAC system is outdated and wasting energy. At ICS, we'll install an energy-efficient system that provides a constant flow of clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature in every room. You could save money each month, and the price we quote is the price you'll pay. Get a quote today. See why we say ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, we're talking to you. Don't let the summer sun melt your child's mind. Our customized learning and passion exploring programs are the perfect way to beat the dreaded summer slump. Instead of losing 2 to 3 months of learning this summer, we're helping students gain a month of learning by the fall. Our fun and engaging tutors are ready to help. Call to inquire about our programs and special promotions, including small group tutoring for only $45. We'll see you this summer.
I actually used to be deathly afraid of public speaking. I intentionally became an adjunct professor teaching tax, and I also became a Zumba instructor as a way of overcoming this fear of mine. They're both forms of leading and teaching in their own right. Bottom line though, WIS supports my passions. I truly believe that WIS wants me to be the best version of myself, and it's such an amazing feeling that I truly have the freedom to do that here.
Go ahead, take a deep breath. Oh, nice, huh? That's some clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature.
That is good. Who installed the system?
ICS. They're the leaders in HVAC. They make the ductwork at their own factory, so we even save some money.
That's impressive. You recommend them?
It's ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, Lorraine, go get a big plastic bag. Take some air home with you.
Brian, we just got a text from your wife. She wants to trade in her car for something else.
Chief, I'm a little busy.
She wants it now.
Explain to me how I'm going to do that.
We got fast lane, Brian.
The fast what?
Fast lane. Bring her in.
This is us? Paul Miller Fastlane?
Who else would do it? Buy a car, trade a car, finance a car, have it delivered completely online.
This is so easy. She could have done it herself.
She said you're the car guy, Brian.
Isn't that the truth?
Get the fast lane, winner.
It's the only way to fly.
That's fast lane, powered by Paul Miller. That is the Paul Miller difference.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them.
Goal, we reset, and TJ Santata has it for the Vikings. Santata brings it right past two defenders. Look at the speed in the open ice. Santata, great stick handling, great shot. Here's Carlotti from the end zone. It is caught. Charge. Good for the pass. Here's a shot right in front. Score! And that is a base hit. The run will score. And freshman Polachek gets the strike.
Anthony Grosso is going to make sure that the Wolfpack fans go home happy.
Olsen, Grosso for three. He got it! Ah!
All right, good afternoon and welcome to John DeSilva Memorial Field here in Randolph, New Jersey for a UPSL matchup, or premier matchup I should say now, as the Cabras have recently been promoted after a successful spring season between Cabras FC and the Jackson Lions FC. Two teams from New Jersey towards the bottom of the standings. Zach Smolin and Peter 5 Foot with you. Peter, just getting started here in a brand new league for them, the Cabras. Obviously, they had a dominating performance in the spring of 2023, finishing fourth in the division, making a very successful playoff run, getting knocked out in the finals. But as you know, with any team that was just promoted to a higher league, they're going to run into a couple of issues, and that's part of why they've started off this season with the 0-1-2 record.
Well, they've struggled, but they've also pushed hard offensively. They've got a couple of forwards out there like T-Mac and as well as you talk about Joel Queest, these are guys that can really run. This is a fast team. However, Jackson Lions are also another speedy team they're facing. We spoke to Cabras coach earlier, and he did say, hey, we like our chances. We want to run with these guys. We're feeling good, and we want to start off on a great note on a really good season. So you're home here. You're going to have the crowd on your favor, and it's going to be really a good test for them, because on the other side, Zach, you look at Jackson, the Lions, they're fast, they're speedy, they're a lot different than they were last season, but they are a quite accomplished team. So it's going to be a battle of two heavyweight teams wanting to make note in their division.
It's one of the few soccer games, and actually both teams actually have a name aside from their location. We got the Cabras FC, and then we have the Jackson Lions, so it'll be easy. We won't be repeating a ton of stuff like we usually would be doing, and it's going to be a real great time. The Lions are currently still meeting. Over on the left side, they are wearing their red kits today, their red road kits. On the home side, we will have the Cabras FC in their white with the black numbers, all of them with black socks and, of course, multicolored cleats. Jackson on the other side have the white numbers and letters, as well as predominantly red socks and multicolored cleats as well here at John DeSilva Memorial Field. Home of the Randolph Rams, a very successful high school in terms of almost every single sport, struggling a little bit to start their football season. But all in all, we really love broadcasting Randolph here on More Sussex Sports, and it's good to be back as it's just 5 minutes away from our base of operations over at CCM, a place that I know that you're very familiar with, Peter.
Yes, absolutely. We've worked so many great games there, and we've gone through on football, and it's good for More Sussex Sports also doing soccer. We had our first soccer game early in the morning, 9 a.m. Newton and Kittatinny. Kittatinny won that 2-0, and so we're just getting into that. I know you and I are in about 2 days. Our next broadcast could be in Mountain Lakes, Hanover Park, the Hornets against the Lakers. It's going to be a big game, but speaking in here is still the Lions meeting on that left side. I think keys to the game here, Zach, is if you're the Cabras, you have to just run. They've got to kind of run through, and there's a couple of these bigger backs that they got out for Jackson. but the best way to get through a longer center back that can act as a sweeper and pitch the ball up the field and really cause problems for you is to run on them and get them tired. There's limited substitutes in soccer, and the more this speedy Cabras team can really work against a physical and fast, demanding Jackson team, it gives them the edge. And also, you get a couple corners, you get balls in play, you really start to get the fans into it, and you start having the opponent a little bit questioned on the way they're defending, Zach.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if they can get the job done here. It looks like Cabras will start off with the ball here in half number 1. To me, it looks like the clock will not be running, so I'll do my best to keep a stopwatch right here next to me so we can get a good idea of how much time is remaining and how much is running through. As these two teams will face off for the first time in this fall 2023 season, they actually have a common opponent in the Philadelphia Union, as Jackson, the last time that they played against Philadelphia, won that by a score of 2-0. And picking up their first points were Cabras FC as they tied 4-4 at the YSC Sports as the first touch is underway, and we are all set and ready to go here in Randolph. Started over with their left back, working his way through, just surveying the options in front of him as they're trying to get a feel for what this Jackson Lions defense has in store for them. Got a long blast up the sideline, nobody home as this will continue to roll over towards the baseline, and it'll be an early possession here as it's going to get picked up by Jake Connors.
Well, they don't really pinch their backs as much. I'm noticing this, Jackson. So they're going to stay back. So the calculated passing attack has to be there for the Cabras.
So already we're seeing a couple of numbers are not matching up here on our sheet. So we will do our very best to make sure that we're identifying every player correctly on the UPSL website. They do not include numbers, so we're trying to talk to some of the coaches, but sometimes the coaches are at mercy as to which players show up and who remembers their kit. So if we have any discrepancies, we will try to figure them out at halftime for you. We do have a fully accurate Cabras FC roster as you're watching here on More Sussex Sports, the home of Cabras FC.
Well, that was a good pass. You must kind of get crosses in. A way to dispel defending is to get great crosses in, kind of get heads in on the keeper, and get guys going to the net. That's a big way to get offense if your passes are not keying up, Zach.
Yeah, something big for Cabras FC and something that they're going to try to do really well up in this higher Premier Division is score goals. I mean, I know that's the name of the game and that sounds obvious, but when they were down in Division 1 last season in the spring, they were second in their division in goals scored with 36. They only allowed 12, and their differential plus 24 was also second in the division. So this was a team that often put on some very dominant performances, particularly on the offensive end, as they're going to just do a full reset here as they'll hurl it back to their keeper.
Well, I will whistle there. The keeper is one of the better keepers out there in the league that they play. He is one of the reasons why they stay in games. Yes, they have not had the best record, but they were able to stay in a couple of those games and really have chances to score goals because their goalkeeper kept them in it.
6 goals for, 13 against, a -6 differential. They knotted up 4-4 as leaping in the air and making a grab right there is Callum Erlenborn. It's his first touch so far in the early going as we're just around inside the 3rd minute here in Randolph, New Jersey. John DeSilva Memorial Field, otherwise known as The Cage. Great name here. I mean, yeah, it's completely surrounded by fencing. And it's going to be a pretty intimidating place to go and visit. The crowd, pretty good for, an early football Sunday here. Now, I guess this is a football Sunday here on More Sussex Sports. Well, heaving it over along the far sideline as Jackson trying to maintain possession for their first time today. Quick little ground cross, goes right back to the middle to Connors. Connors, one of the pair of center backs that they're employing in today's contest, is pressure being put on by the number 9 of Sharif Ali, who's got 3 of his team's 6 goals so far to start the season for Cabras. It's a beautiful day, completely different than what the weather's been like all weekend long. It's been hot, it's been muggy, it's been humid. There's a chance of rain later on in the day. There's some clouds that are fading off into the distance, but all in all, it's been a dry, crisp Sunday afternoon and a beautiful day for the beautiful game.
Well, Sharif Ali, I like that you noted about him. He is a very powerful forward, but a great leader for the Cabras because he's one of their best defensive players. So he can know on both sides of the field, also getting out there to try to score some goals.
Yeah, does an excellent job. Played in Jersey City, and he's also had some international stints. He's 6'4", and yeah, obviously that imposing force makes him good on both sides of the field. So once again, the Cabras will invade enemy territory with another throw-in.
Something to add to their confidence, Zach, is that they've had a majority of the possession here tonight.
Yeah, in the first 4 minutes of play, they've pretty much dominated it off of a quick estimate, probably somewhere around 60-40, 70-30, controlling the midfield quite well and really forcing Jackson so far in today's game to work along the sidelines. They're not ceding the middle of the field, so it's certainly a good start for a Cabras squad that's been giving up a lot of goals in the early going, over 4 per contest to start the season.
One thing, though, to watch on their side cautiously is they have been controlling the play, controlling the possession, as you said, but they've been running a lot. They've been running more to the balls. They've been really trying to dribble instead of just pass up the lane. And, you know, when you get later into the second half, especially in a long season, that can really wear on your confidence and on your training. So they've got to be a little quick because it's a long, long game.
Bukachevsky will distribute it over towards the near sideline. Faking a long blast was Spiliotopoulos. He'll chip it ahead even more forward. Picking it up now is the left attacking midfielder, Valdivia. And now they've got some space. A long cross. They try to get it to Ali. It bounces a couple of times, but it's snatched away by Valdivia. Valdivia over by the sideline, now getting shoved a little bit. Harassed for the ball. He gets pushed off of it, and that will stifle the Cabras' offensive front that time, although a dangerous pass in the middle gives them the ball right back. Their captain tries to get it ahead to Ali. He can't pick it up as they're having a tough time breaking that final boundary of this Jackson defense. And we will have a whistle here, and they are going to give advantage over to Jackson Lions FC.
That was a trip low, but give credit to Valdivia. He made a couple of really great plays there defensively, and this is going to be a problem for the Lions if they keep turning the ball over in their end.
Playing in Division 4 here in the United States. He played in Divisions 3 and 4 in the Hungary circuit. Also played internationally for Peru for a couple of caps. So now for the first time, we're really seeing the Lions challenge this Cabras defense as Ali tries to cut this one off and puts immediate pressure on this midfield. And now following suit is Danilo Lopez, the the Dover native.
He's seeing a lot here. There's a white shirt on every Lion. It's really great for Cabras.
And this is beautiful here. I was just going to say, I thought for sure he was onside as he looked to blitz past the defender after the ball had passed. But unfortunately for Cabras, all for naught. But another good offensive push here. Again, they're doing their best. Well, no offsides here. As hustling ahead is Alvarez. Alvarez trying to do it all by himself as he chips it off. And they take a quick blast, and it goes over the crossbar and out of play. Good job by Danilo Lopez over the head of Erlenborn.
Well, one of the Lions there, I don't know the number of the sheet, but number 8, he turns the ball over, and just the best chance for the Cabras. And they're getting chances. You're talking about offense needs to wake up. They're getting guys going, a couple shots, testing the keeper a little bit. Their legs are moving well. You know, the confidence is high for a team that needs to start scoring some goals.
This is a team last year, and the limited coverage that I had of this Cabras squad, they are a very well-conditioned group. They could run with almost anybody out there. You talked about Jackson being fast, but I think this Cabras squad from Dover are certainly up to the challenge. Jackson coming all the way from the home of Six Flags Great Adventure down in Middle South New Jersey, going up against a Dover squad playing right here in Randolph. This team is a little bit older. 2014 is when they started. Cabras FC started in the 2020 season, and this is just their second season inside of the UPSL and their first in the Premier Conference.
It's a tough division. You got some New York teams, you got some New Jersey teams, and you know it's all about confidence, but it's also all about conditioning, as you said. And right now, the Cabras, the more conditioned squad.
Yeah, they've certainly been holding on to the ball a lot longer, putting a ton of pressure on the opposition, as there's just so many teams inside of this. I'm trying to pull up the full table right now, but it's going to take a second. Here we go. So Jackson currently sitting at 10th. Well, more tied for 7th if we're going total points here inside of this 13-team table in the Northeast American Division.
Keeper just made a good play on that. It was sailing towards top under the bar, and keeper just got a little bit of a piece of that ball.
Yeah, good stop by Erlenborn. It's his first save of the evening. As taking the corner this time will be Ray Ramos.
This is big.
Of course, Ramos is in our exact blind side, but that's okay. We know where the ball's coming from.
This is big, Zach. They need a lot of their set pieces the more corners you have, the more pressure you put on the defense. But this cross has to be high and looping.
See what he's got. He blasts one. It has some sink to it, and it does brush off the head of a Lions defender, but possession will maintain with Cabras' ball. Here's Landino. Landino sends one inside the box, and it's headed out of there. Making up for his turnover before is Jose Rodriguez as it's blasted over to midfield and handled by the Lions before immediately turning it right back over into Cabras' possession here in the cage. Inside the 10th minute, we're just getting started here in Randolph, New Jersey. We're so happy that you could join us here. Zach Smolin and Peter Feifert here on More Sussex Sports.
Well, that was a good cross. They've got some pressure on them. It's just kind of what I've seen, Zach, is that the Cabras are basically taking what the Lions are giving them. They're not trying to pressure too hard right now. They've settled in this game. And, you know, Jackson looks a little nervous, turning the ball a little bit in their end. Couple of bobblers, and they're taking them, and they're getting nice opportunities on their goalkeeper.
Taking a gamble with a long punt down the field that will be handled easily by Cabras, scooping it up as Angel Dominguez. And at Cabras FC, they value the support of their sponsors and their affiliation with the United Premier Soccer League, the UPSL, which contributes to their growth and success. Their community is enriched by these partnerships, and they are proud to highlight them, so we will brush our way through a bunch of the game sponsors, starting with 111 Bar and Kitchen. Catch all the action of their home games through the live streams on More Sussex Sports, hosted at 111 Bar and Kitchen right over in Dover, New Jersey. So we'll see our first goal kick. And it's coming from Bukachevsky. Boots one down the field about halfway as it lands right beyond that center mark. Picked up by Ali as he chips it right back behind him. A few stutter steps moving forward. Alvarez chips off to the side as they try to cut it to the middle. And they have him on. Nope, now they call him off right after. It was a very late whistle for the offside. Sharif Ali did get a nice little shot there that ended up over the crossbar, but the whistle comes in nonetheless, and it is the turnover off of the infraction inside of the 11th minute.
One thing I've noticed is a lot of these passes have been aerial. Problem with that is when you have an aerial pass, guys usually will stand in front trying to get feet to the ball, heads to the ball, and then that can cause an offside.
Trying to brush it ahead, Ryan Peterson has a long cross, but it ends up going out of bounds. William Messiah, the last to touch it for Jackson.
Well, give credit to 17 Angel. He is one of the backs that sits back for the Cabras. He doesn't really pinch, but he stays back and has pressured. And one of the other things, I've said it earlier, is just every time a Lion tries to get the ball, you see one or two white shirts just right on him. And that's the defensive pressure you have to have. You've got to convert to your defense first. That opens up the offense.
It goes back to the conditioning, too. They're very tenacious, but they also have the energy to do so. You can have a good game plan in soccer all you want, but if you're not conditioned enough to run with the other team, you're not going to find a ton of success. As now we see a man on the ground, a potential trip called. And it looks like a free kick coming up for Jackson inside of enemy territory.
Yeah, that man was William Messiah for the Lions. It's the conditioning has been good. Yes, there's been a couple of free kicks here. You're going to have one for Jackson, but their tackling, Cabras has been good too. You've got to have good, solid tackles to go down and try to win battles constantly when the ball is going on that far run. You get battle, 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 especially when a team is trying to chip it in and have a chance to go to the goal.
Giuseppe Barone immediately gets it to Messiah, who has a man in front, chopping the ball, sees it roll off his shin guard, and it should be another goal kick coming up, so wasted opportunity on that long kick. You saw what they were trying to do, get it to their middle striker right there as he cut across to the right side, but again, a white shirt is always on him.
Advantage also to the Cabras, I'm noticing when there's balls coming in down low towards that out-of-bound line. One thing that the Cabras are doing, which is great for them, is they're running at everything, even if it definitely is going to go out. There's a couple plays where Jackson has a chance for a loose ball, has a chance to kind of keep it in and send it out to a couple of their players running, and they just stoop it, let it go out. And that's not great conditioning, and they've got to hustle a little more.
Here's Ramos up to the far sideline in front of the defunct scoreboard that's off in the distance. Great shots coming from Matt McGear, our eye in the sky today, and keeping the clock running, the graphics rolling, and, of course, everything going well is Miss Kelly Barta down to our left. And she's the most sheltered of everybody here. She's got this cool reflective umbrella. Hey, Paul's there, too. Paul, what'd you get there? Well, we've got a full team here. We may not have a starting 11, but we do have a starting 5 here on More Sussex Sports. Having a good time bringing you this action from Randolph, New Jersey. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away from our operations and honestly from where the majority of the employees live, except for me and Paul, of course, who live on the opposite ends of the state. Paul with the big thumbs up. He has the biggest gasoline bill of anybody in the organization. Now back to the center. The Cabras putting on some pressure, cutting to the inside, surrounded by defenders, working his way through, loses the ball back behind, and it's kicked ahead outside of the box, and he makes a man miss as Peterson works it forward and now gets it ahead to Messiah, but a little too much heat on it as the last chance defender tried to get in front. But fortunately, the pass was slow enough for the Cabras to get a couple of men back in front. They take a quick shot. Messiah can't do anything about it, and instead of following the ball, he just throws his hands in the air in frustration. And the Cabras showing some great resilience there after a couple mistakes, but ultimately able to stonewall the Jackson offense.
Ramos made a good defensive play after he got deked out of his shoes, and that's what you got to do. Oh, you get embarrassed a little bit? Well, go back on defense, get the ball back, make a play. And that's what he did there.
Man, that play just warmed me up for hockey season there. Rarely in soccer will you see a quick transition from one offensive end to the other. But, you got to channel a little bit of Doc Emmerich here and there, no matter what sport you're doing.
He kind of went back, back-checked basically on the soccer field. And you have to have that, but you have to have that. And we're having some fun here. But in soccer, especially this league, yes, the Cabras have struggled, and Jackson as well, but a lot of these teams are so close to each other in talent level and in division level. You got to make a couple tackles. You've got to just play effort really in this league. That's what's going to win you championships.
To me, it really shows you how much the sport is growing. I mean, in 2011, this league alone was just in the Southwest. Now it's all across of North America and the United States. Throughout all the different divisions, there's over 250 teams operating, and still they're able to field all these competitive teams. And again, that just shows you how much the sport is growing here in in the United States, not just there, but all of North America in general. Someone reaches out of bounds, and they'll heave it back over to the 19 of Barone. Barone's been their free kick taker, and he will have an open sightline at the goal. Not a lot of favorable angles currently for the rest of Jackson to cut in. So let's see if he takes a direct strike. Instead, he tries to push it off to the side, right into the secondary wall that the Cabras had set up. So maybe a little bit of an ill-advised play there, trying for that low percentage pass, as now they give it right back to the home side.
Well, I know what he's doing. What he's trying to do is he's trying to loop up for a head in front and do a double header and try to get a shot at the goal. I know that, but yeah, the way that was defended by Cabras, you really can't do anything with it.
A little bit of hand-holding there as they give the Cabras the advantage, as they're able to lose it almost right away. This one will bound off of Peterson's legs and end over towards the midfield, a little bit over more on the far side as it's given back to Danilo Lopez. Now they send it back to their back four. Right across, Spiliotopoulos. His name is really fun to say. I hope he touches the ball a ton. They get it back over more towards the middle. Now they force it to Ali. If he's onside, this is dangerous. This is popped up sky high, and we'll have our second corner of the game. As once again, we won't be able to see it, but Matt McGurr will make sure that you can see it just fine.
Well, he realized this, that it was going to be onside was Ali. That's why Goners came out and just booted this ball, tried to boot it into one of the high school windows. That's how far he realized defensively to get out. And we're noticing that these defensive miscues are coming up from reaches. Players reaching in to try to grab the ball instead of staying home.
Yeah, they're trying to force a little bit too much defensively, almost trying to match what the Cabras are doing today as they get a favorable spin. They get it back over to Danilo Lopez. Lopez hanging on to it, taking a step back, and partially retreating over towards the far sideline as they're trying to spread the defense out just a little bit more. Over towards the opposite side, almost another corner, up, headed, looks for the combination, back to the middle, the strike, and he scores! Oh, what a series of plays right there, resulting in a Danilo Lopez goal, and it's 1-0 Cabras.
Well, this all comes apart because it's a side angle. They try to chip it. They try to chip it over, as getting there was Alvarez, but then it just goes over the goalkeeper, and a bouncing ball that the Lions can't take out, and Danilo Lopez fires a screamer into the back of the net, and it's 1-0 in favor of the locals.
Yeah, he was exactly in the right spot in order to make that play happen right there. And, of course, the hometown boy, proud Dover High School alumni. This is in the notes that they gave me about him, too. They said he adds depth and flair to the team. He did both right there. He was deep in the other zone, and that goal was certainly very pretty to look at as we head inside the 19th minute here in the first half of play.
Well, a lot of chemistry there. You got a couple of former Dover Tigers, and he's one of them. They've had a great soccer program out in Dover High School for years, and, you know, the chemistry there. Alvarez goes to the net, and Lopez able to fire it home, and that first goal, always important and big that the home team scores first.
It certainly is for them, especially since they're still searching for their first victory of the season. It's their 7th goal on the year. According to the UPSL website, it is Lopez's first.
And, you know, getting off the schneid, important for him. You're in a new league. You're trying to build up the offense. Your young team, it's only your 4th year, of being in existence. And for him, this is a younger player to get that confidence and score that goal. Just big, and a big boost for the guys on the bench in white.
Playing aggressively in the box once again is the keeper, Bukachevsky. He should be somebody, Peter, that I thought you would recognize. He played at Montclair State for a little while.
Yeah, Bukachevsky, he was there for a little bit. Montclair State, one of the best colleges in men's soccer for a while. They had a 10-game win streak last year. Just missed out after losing a heartbreaker to Rowan in one of their big rivalries. But Bukachevsky, he was a great player, and there was a forward from Montclair State that actually is right now playing for Dallas FC. So, yeah, there are great players playing on this team here for the Cabras, either from Dover High School and also going through college and professional. And as you said, as well, you talk about number 9, Ali, playing international.
Yep.
Like, it's all over. They have great depth, and one of the reasons why they were promoted into this league was because of the expectations, especially offensively.
I mean, Bukachevsky also has played internationally over in Ukraine. He is a Ukrainian American, played in their GSSL EDP league on their U23 squad. So, again, it's just showing you the talent that this league has been attracting over here to the States. And, you know, the United States is suddenly becoming a hotbed for international soccer talent.
And the Ukraine is one of the best countries for prospects coming out defensively, physical, and goalkeepers. There are some really great goalkeepers in the Ukraine. You may see the Ukraine really hustle in the next Euros, play really well. They almost made the World Cup. So for a guy coming there playing in one of the most competitive goalkeeping leagues, it just gives you more and more confidence if you're the Cabras.
That was a little scary there. Messiah was putting a lot of pressure on Bukachevsky there. He's only about a meter away from that ball as they have fired it down the left sideline. Once again, the Cabras have penetrated deep into Jackson territory. They're working it along as it was onside. Look for the center, trying to get it back over to Lopez. And instead it sputters out a little bit more towards the top. Long pass ends up over back to Lopez. One defender in front, waiting for some support from behind. Won't get it, so he'll have to take it himself in the middle. Long roll across, gets it to Alvarez. Alvarez looking for space with the strike. A little bit of bend on it. And ultimately is saved by Erlenborn, his second stop.
That was a great play by Alvarez. And how does it start? His run. It was crossed out on that left line. It was a get there and run there. He got there, got the ball, was able to pull a couple passes, and then Alvarez kind of trying to bend it like Beckham, just screams it in there. A good save by the Lions keeper. But for Alvarez, who's had a lot of confidence, he had the initial shot that resulted in the Lopez goal. Really great confidence for him as well, and what a run.
Once again, trying to get it to Ali. Yeah, Bend It Like Beckham, one of my favorite movies. But what is your favorite all-time soccer movie, Peter?
All-time?
I have a clear one.
Honestly, I don't remember the name actually of it, but it's the one where Pele's in his with the army guys. Is that one?
Okay.
That I can't remember the Christmas.
Yes.
Can't remember the name of that movie, but that's probably my favorite.
Yours definitely different than mine. My favorite is Kicking and Screaming, featuring Mike Ditka and Will Ferrell's comedic chemistry. Oh my gosh, that movie is one of my absolute all-time favorites. As it looks like we have it down to Cabra, getting stretched out by one of his teammates. That is Alvarez. Yeah, who's done a nice job striking the ball, moving it up, and has been a key part to this team. He's going to get up with a little help from his friends over there, the number 10 of Ray Ramos. Well, if he's back up and ready to go.
Yeah, if you make a couple runs like that, you'll get cramps, especially in soccer. And he's been really running and getting a few taps by his teammates. That really helps because you actually lose confidence if you kind of try to loop one out there off the side and players aren't making the runs, which seems like the possession is lost. But if you're hustling down, you're making runs, you're hitting balls, you're sending one in, it's not going to count as an assist, but essentially it was an assist, his first shot that led to the Lopez goal.
You can call it a hockey assist.
Yeah, I guess you could. It looped close to the goal and careened over to the foot there of Lopez. You're going to give a lot of confidence to yourself and to your team, and that's only going to help as this game goes on, approaching the 24th minute.
And now we are entering the 25th minute of action. As there we go again with Lopez. Lopez has Ali in front too, and he is behind the defenders, but Lopez is going to make the long run. Ali with a little backwards pass, plenty of room, side of the keeper, off the post, and just swatting it ahead. Oh, a couple of lucky breaks right there coming in there for Jackson FC, off the post to the inside, and then just barely able to get some fingertips on it was Erlenborn. This could easily be a 2-0 contest if not for the help of the medal over there.
Great positioning, great crossing in front. What an offensive explosion there, and it did go off the glove, but I do think Alvarez maybe should have jumped a little, hustled a little bit more for the ball, but again, he's done everything, so I don't really have too much of a problem with that, but they're really pushing the goal, and you've seen there really hasn't been as much action at the other end for Jackson, but for the Cabras, they have been pushing and making runs, crossing the ball, doing all the really good things, and they've barely turned it over.
Hauling it in now is Brian Call. Picked up from the outside. Ooh, just got under it a little bit too much as Lopez will try for the positioning on the outside. Ultimately gets beat out by Mike Casper, and it'll be out yet again. Another throw-in coming from the Cabras. Somebody who's been a big player on offense so far today. I mean, we've been talking a lot about Alvarez, another international player coming from Bogota, Colombia.
Yeah, he's a real good fast player, and you kind of hooked a shot here. One thing to note, though, especially for the Cabras, on this field, this ball, that's offside on the Cabras, this ball kind of will roll on the turf that you're on, the grass. And what happens, Zach, is I've seen a couple times both teams try to settle a rolling ball. Don't do that. Just try to hammer it through, hope it takes a bounce and get guys going up where they can make some headers and get some contact, because you're just not going to be able to settle those.
Here's Ali, kicks it over to his right side where there's more space, takes a long strike on a bounce, and once again it's stopped again by Erlenborn, who's been busy. That's his 4th save today on 5 shots on goal.
Well, credit the Cabras. Erlenborn has made a couple saves. He's had to laterally make saves. Go to his left, go to his right. He's a keeper that's really susceptible high, but they've been getting a couple of mobile low shots that have really tested Erlenborn.
A little bit of pushing and shoving. And the official almost talking to the Cabras player like he was in elementary school. Is like, no. Don't touch your friend before he touches the ball first.
Well,
get him out of there.
Yeah, well, what happened was Kevin Valdivia, in a very fun early season way, they were giving the ball to Jackson and just kind of pushed the ball away. It's some fun stuff going on here because both teams are trying to get accustomed to each other and accustomed to the league. So they're trying to figure out what edge you can get. You're also playing mental games a little bit with your opponent. And right now, as you can see on the scoreboard, Cabras are winning.
They are. They're up 1-0 as it's plucked out of the air by Bukachevsky. That's their first, well, not quite a shot on goal as it was up in the air, but certainly the best chance offensively that we've seen Jackson have so far today as we enter minute 28 in Randolph, New Jersey. Over halfway through this first half of play, Cabras are ahead 1-0 as Lopez is back with it, trying to increase that number. Leaving it back behind yet again.
They got to have a cross here.
Here's Gomez over to the middle. It's rammed down by Ramos as it trickles forward over back towards the keeper, and it's an easy recovery this time, once again, by Erlenborn.
Something to go to halftime if you're a Jackson supporter is a couple of really high-quality, high-grade shots that the Cabras have been blocked. A lot of their forwards and their backs are coming back and blocking really high-angle, high-velocity shots, and that stings, and they're getting blocks because when you go down to block, you give momentum to your goalkeeper, and you can really disturb an offense trying to work.
Yeah, it's certainly been working pretty well, as we're seeing some excellent defense being played by this forwarding group right now of the Cabras. They're really stifling all these passes, forcing them to take their time, as now Jackson finally finding their way through and getting a clean run over towards the center. They're going to try to get it over to Messiah as he gets knocked out. I didn't really see any contact on him. I think he was trying to draw a foul, and nothing doing, as it just ends up being a turnover over to the home side. Cut off in the middle for Peterson. Peterson jets one ahead. A lot of room to run, but this ball is going to roll even further as the keeper will pick it up before it rolled out of bounds. I guess he just wanted to test and make sure, just in case one of his players is the last to touch it instead. Instead of a corner, just, well, not quite a goal kick, an artificial one if you want to say it. Back for Ramos. Ramos with 2 men in front. That means somebody's open. Ali, one-on-one with this man. Tries to center it now. Has to have his man turn around, brushes it off into space. And now taken just outside of the box, back by Jackson.
Very patient play by Ali. I know was not given to where he wanted, but he just patiently was able to wait, and hold up. And there's a point where later in this game, if this game is still tight, 1-0 or maybe 2-0 or 2-1 or whatever it is, where a patient pass going out across, making a key passes, that could really be just volatile for Jackson. That could be the real play that the Cabras need.
So let's see what Jackson concocts for the final 15 minutes here in half number 1. Down 1-0, not a ton of pressure, getting outshot 5-0 as well. A little more defensive pressure coming over from Alvarez. Now they push it over to the corner, Jonathan Gomez, and let's see who this is out on ultimately. Well, Jackson was calling for it, but let's see what the official signal is going to be.
Well, the Lions want a set piece, Zach. That's what they're trying to go. If you see these runs, they're putting their hands up in the air. They're trying to get something on goal because the runs aren't working. We were talking about the offense. I got a substitution here for Cabras, but give some credit to this stifling Cabras defense.
Steven Alvarez is out. Coming into the game now is Joseph Plaza. So losing a little bit of size here, but Plaza, certainly a capable player in his own right.
And we were wondering whose possession they're going to give a throw-in to the Cabras.
Yeah, we saw the applause from the sideline as this is jumped down, and immediately a long blast. They try to force it to Ali again. Ali's almost like a deep threat in American football. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you'd remember him, but Torrey Smith, as they're going to test Plaza out right away. Plaza's got some room, some separation in front. Long run, looking to pass to the middle, but nobody's home, as this is just going to continue to roll and catch some inertia over by the sideline, but an impressive run coming off cold from the bench.
Well, to give a football reference there, soccer reference, he's a lankier version of like a Romelu Lukaku.
Yes, he is.
That kind of player where he's going to make a couple runs and playing for FC Inter now in Italy, and he's like a physical guy that can run, play defense, a couple tackles there, and also is a pure goal scorer. So he's a little bit of everything for a team that kind of needs a leader like that.
They certainly do, as now here's a nice little pass up in front, and it's right into the clutches of the former Red Hawk in Bukachevsky.
That's a great save by Bukachevsky. I know it's far angle. I know it's low, but that's one where you can make that quick save. You don't have to worry about any rebounds. And then one of the quick things he does as well is that he'll just take the ball up and let them run, and they've been really going.
Here's Plaza, and just a little too far in front of Valdivia. Coming in a little hot off the bench, and I get it. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement trying to push the ball forward. Very tough to slow things down and make that a more precise pass.
Well, the thing is, when you drive him Borchevsky, he makes a quick pass, no rebound. It's a real problem for Jackson because it's not he delays, he holds, waits for the kick, everybody kind of gets the rest. No, he'll sweep the ball out with the pitch and then have everybody keep moving out on a run and just have everyone trying to go into the goal. You got a couple forwards there. It's fast-paced, quick-paced. So there's no real room to kind of rest and get the game back to the way that Jackson wants it. Jackson wants it more conservative, more slow-paced, and the Cabras just are playing their game, and they're forcing the Lions to play their game.
Ali, the big body on the field now, working with it. Trying to shake and bake around a trio of defenders surrounding it, forces a retreat. And now they'll try to knock it back over to midfield. They can take their time here. They are up 1-0.
Well,
try to see what the defense gives them.
Yeah, Zach, interesting you were talking about. Before, soccer really growing as this league has they have divisions in Arizona, California, Florida, all over the country. And you're talking about America really growing. Well, the World Cup is going to be in the United States in 2026.
Yeah, and you and I are incredibly fortunate, obviously living not too far away from MetLife. I mean, MetLife Stadium's 10 minutes away from me, and they're going to have plenty of matches there. So I'm excited to really watch some men's World Cup soccer live and in person for the very first time in my life coming up.
And I think it's great for these leagues because it's development. You were talking about Wargowski playing in Montclair. Well, who else plays at Montclair State? Who else plays at Montclair State? Well, the Red Bulls, too.
That's right.
The minor league team for the Red Bulls. A couple months ago, they played against Cincinnati FC2 had a 3-1 win in that game. So, and in this state, we're also really lucky with soccer. There's a lot of great soccer teams in New Jersey, specifically North Jersey. And with the World Cup coming, with the Team USA so big for these minor leagues.
As they try a couple of combination headers, and he snatches the ball right away. Huge defensive play by Peterson. Another long strike, and it's gobbled right up by Erlenborn. He's now got 5 stops today, and we're talking about, just the growth in the area. That's how the Cabras came to be. They were an organization that saw a lot of their local players, specifically from Dover, go off and go elsewhere. They're like, wait a minute, why don't we just keep everybody here? We have all this talent, we have all this interest, and now they're in their 4th year of operations and doing quite well already, operating to the top level here in this Division 4 league.
And Dover is so much, obviously, as most people know, Dover, a highly Hispanic town. There's a lot of great soccer players that have played there coming from other countries, so you have an understanding of the other way of football. In fact, I actually have a personal friend who goes to Rutgers who played in soccer for Dover in 2017, 2018, and 2019. David Nizama, he was a center back, and he obviously doesn't play soccer anymore, but he had teammates, and that whole culture of Dover Tigers soccer has really crushed right in here with the Cabras, and it's great. But it's not just Dover. There's a couple other schools around here, Randolph, Roxbury, Jefferson Township, that have great soccer teams as well. In fact, Jefferson, my alma mater, they won sectionals in boys soccer in 2019. So there's a lot of great soccer powers that have melded their way into the Cabras around this area in South Morris County, or South Sussex County, North Morris County.
And we have a Cabras player writhing over on the long end. I think that he got hit with a follow-through, and they are going to call a trainer over there. I certainly hope he's okay. I haven't seen a player roll around like that, although he does get up. That was odd. So he went from completely writhing around in pain to ultimately just being able to get back up on his own power.
That's Jonathan Gomez.
Yeah, sending the trainer right back.
Well, hopefully Gomez will be okay. No matter what happens here, Zach, they may send a substitution because we're in the first half. We're going to be approaching the 38th minute of play soon, and you have a whole second half to go. So this is, I think conditioning, you have depth if you're the Cabras, and restoring his health because they'll have a couple more games coming up as this week rolls along.
So actually they are going to just keep him in the game. He looks like he's going to be just fine. Maybe just the initial shock and the pain of the hit, but we didn't hit anything too tender, so he's off and ready to go. So we get a long blast from Bukachevsky.
Well, we are glad that here on Morris Sussex Sports, we know it's week 1 opening NFL. There's a lot of sports going on in that realm. We had college football yesterday, but we are glad here on Morris Sussex Sports that you are watching. And if anyone wants any game of any sport covered, just email George Muha at morrissussexsports.com. We have so many sports that we cover. And I'll be doing soccer with you, as I said, and later football this week. And, of course, we've got volleyball coming up. We have some field hockey games. And then we get into the winter with hockey and basketball and all of that. So Morris Sussex Sports, since week 0 started, we don't stop till get into June.
No, and even then, we find ways to stay busy throughout the summers. There's Lopez winding up, now patiently waiting, a couple defenders drawn in. And that's part of the threat of Lopez, too, as the ball will continue to trickle through. He wasn't even in that good of a position to make an accurate and strong strike, but they know how powerful he is, so he drew another defender, and that left somebody else open just outside of the box as now the ball trickles back over to midfield. You can also email George Muha if you want to advertise here at Morris Sussex Sports. George Muha at MorrisSussexSports.com. One of the advertisers for Cabras FC, Tony and Vinny's Bakery. Their players refuel with the delectable offerings from Tony and Vinny's in Dover, New Jersey.
And one of the other things, one of the other things, though, is we talked about, the immigrants and all of the culture for soccer for Dover. It also helps for the town. My mother worked there for over 30 years, so I'm very familiar with the town of Dover, and it's great also that Dover's businesses and Dover itself has really merged with Randolph and with the Cabras. It's great to see because they have a vibrant, wonderful town out there, and as we've seen on the pitch here, some great soccer players.
Yeah, and building a nice culture around a game that so many love and has a lot of talent and passion for in this area. So now it's heaved through, goes off the very tip-top of the head of Valdivia, who we haven't seen too much on that end of the pitch. He's been a little bit closer to us on their left side as this will roll out of bounds yet again and be picked up eventually there by Sharif Ali. We will certainly have a little bit of extra time here as we go over into the 41st minute, or rather we're now in the 40th minute of action, but we're getting close to minute 41 of action here in Dover, or rather, well, we said so much about Dover, we're actually in Randolph. So roll one back here at John De Silva Memorial Field. I'd imagine the lights will click on soon, not necessarily because the sun's going to go down, but because during the sunset and the dusk hours, these clouds are going to make it very difficult to see.
Yeah, there is rain coming around the end of regulation, so we do hope that after our broadcast, everybody, it's home safe or whatever they have to do. But yeah, this will be quite interesting as Jackson trying to force something again. Another cross down that side.
Trying to get it to Messiah, but he gets knocked over on the way, and now it's back at midfield. Jackson will try to force it back ahead, and now Lopez has got it with plenty of space in front. I think Lopez is going to try to grab the space before looking for his passing options, as we see a good little lane over on that left side for Brian Call. Call with one defender directly in front of him as the rest fill inside the box.
If Call can make a miss, he can really get a good cross in.
Spiliotopoulos back over for Ramos. Ramos over towards his right side. They get one on the ground, and it stops short by the brick wall of the back four. Now Jackson trying to work it in transition, surrounded by three Cabras, but it just gave him the space that he needed as he continues this rush and makes several Cabras miss. Here we go up ahead with Andrew G. And now he's forced to give it back over to Messiah. Messiah now needed to make somebody miss as he rolls one ahead, knocking down one Cabras player, breaking his ankles as a beautiful tackle will steal the ball right back away for the home side, and the threat is dissipated. Now they got to watch out here because Ali is offside, so he's got to watch his positioning here.
And just make sure your legs don't even trip. Just go right for the ball. All he hit was ball, and that was perfect because, once again, just like their goalkeeper, they make a good defensive play, and they just go up the field. They're trying to find some consistency so they don't wear themselves out. That is a cautioning problem. But right now, all the momentum and all of their energy has been with them as closing minutes from the start of halftime. It is still 1-0 Cabras.
And the header ends up going out of bounds over on the far side. Jake Connors touched the ball a lot earlier in this contest, but we haven't had to say his name too often since then. As the Cabras going with a lot of strikes, resulting in some corners and a lot of saves, honestly, as they have 6 shots on goal, 5 of them saved by Callum Erlenborn.
If the Lions come back in the second half, first guy to credit is their goalkeeper. He's made a lot of titanic saves, big ones going to his left, going to his right. Looping shots coming in front, careening plays like that, and he has kept his team in this game.
Ball brushing up pieces of turf as it skipped ahead to Spiliotopoulos, now back over to Ali. Ali back with it again, looks for the top corner. Oh my goodness, that would have been the goal of the year if he was able to make that one happen. He aimed for the only spot where Erlenborn couldn't have possibly stopped it, but just missed about 2 feet in the air.
That spot's right under the right crossbar, and a great shot for Ali. But let's talk about that give and go. Went right to Ali, went back to him, right to him, and Ali was going to the net the whole way, and just the goalkeeper covered it perfectly. So if he makes that shot, that's just a 1 in a million, and he didn't make it. So good defending on a creative offensive play for the Lions.
The Cabras are actually practicing those quick passes from a short distance before this contest, and hey, it's working. It's not just feeling out the turf and the speed, but also, hey, this is something that we know we're going to have to do. We want to operate in close quarters, surrounded by the defense, and I would say their pass accuracy has been sensational, especially when they're over on the offensive end. Not a lot of takeaways coming today from Jackson in their own end.
It's kind of underrated, but you got to credit Spilotopoulos and Angel Dominguez, because both of those guys have stood there defensively as Dominguez gets it now and just made key pass after key passes. Two center backs, obviously, we're talking about Spilotopoulos is the center back and Dominguez is the left back, the right back, excuse me, and just two great plays by both of them, being able to force plays. Like none of the Jackson Lions are able to run on either of these backs.
Yeah, they really haven't been able to create much separation at all. And they're going to have to make some serious tactical adjustments to account for that, because right now the speed game is going all Cabras, and they don't look like they've really broken much of a sweat so far.
One of the most important positions, especially that's underrated in soccer, Dominguez holds is that center back. Because that center back, you're a sweeper. You've got to sweep the ball out and get it out of danger, get it out of panic zone. And he has just, time after time, here's a small rush, here's a cross, just get it out, either to my keeper or Spilotopoulos, get it to a forward. Ali's going up the middle, and now we can start another offensive rush. It's been methodical, it's been very quick, but it hasn't been rushed, which I think has really benefited the Cabras.
So now we're inside the 45th minute of action here. We probably will have a couple of minutes of extra time due to some defense, and offside is Ali by just a hair, but it was a good call by the side judge.
That was really, really tight. He was shoulder to shoulder with him. Yeah, just a bit on his chest was just a bit too far. Very good call because the side judge was right there, but if you're a Cabra supporter, I can see why that might be a little annoying. That was a really good run by him, and it was, just as you said, offside by a hair.
And it's a shame for a guy like Ali, too, who loves to have those long, momentous runs, but he's done a nice job staying patient and avoiding a lot of other offside calls that he might have otherwise gotten called against him. So now we are over that 45-minute mark, so a handful of minutes extra here in this first half of play. It is 1-0 Randolph. And that will wrap things up. All right, so they didn't have a ton of extra time there. 1-0 Randolph, as Danilo Lopez is your first and only goal scorer of the contest. So we'll take a quick 15-minute break here on More Sussex Sports before we're back in action in this UPSL action here in Randolph, New Jersey.
WIS gives me the freedom to be entrepreneurial, innovative. I feel supported to bring 100% of myself and my personality to work each and every day. I'm the CEO of WIS Family Office. I have two amazing children. I'm the daughter of French and Italian immigrants. Above all, I'm someone who derives strength and confidence from my ability to connect with others, and I strive to make a difference in their lives.
At Planet Networks, our high-speed fiber is designed to be fast. Up to 300 times faster than cable, and up to 500 times faster than DSL. As fast as 10,000 megabits per second up and down, if you speak nerd. We're talking cheetah, bullet train, lightning strike, hummingbird, race car kind of fast. Planet Networks. So fast, it's worth the wait.
Montella Inc. is a family-owned dumpster rental business located in Stanhope, New Jersey that's been around since 1984. We provide prompt quality service at a reasonable price for our New Jersey customers, whom we consider our family. We don't just take out the trash. Montella Inc. is a full-service waste management company servicing demolition sites, construction projects, factory sites, shopping centers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. Call today at 973-927-2232.
Athletic Fields of America in in Montville, New Jersey has become an industry leader in synthetic turf. Serving the greater New York, New Jersey, and Eastern PA regions, we have delivered hundreds of both synthetic turf and natural grass sports fields for youth and recreational levels all the way up to the highest standards and requirements of the NCAA. Our goal with every project is to provide our customers with exceptional workmanship, extraordinary service, and professional integrity while constructing a superior product that you can enjoy for years to come. Visit athleticfieldsofamerica.com.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
For all of the perks that come with working here, I would say that the most valuable thing WIS offers is freedom. The freedom to make the most of your role, to really go beyond the job description, the freedom to think differently and be rewarded for it, and the freedom to show up as 100% who you are.
At Pascarella Brothers, we love creating great food for our customers.
Everything is made daily using real fresh ingredients, and you can taste the difference.
We specialize in creating gluten-free options for our customers, all prepared in a separate area so there's no cross-contamination.
We also pride ourselves on providing unparalleled catering for events big and small.
We love what we do.
Stop into Pascarella Brothers.
You'll taste the difference.
My room is so cold, my fish froze.
Mine's so hot, my sneakers melted.
Rooms with different temperatures? That means your HVAC system is outdated and wasting energy. At ICS, we'll install an energy-efficient system that provides a constant flow of clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature in every room. You could save money each month, and the price we quote is the price you'll pay. Get a quote today. See why we say ICS for HVAC.
I see why. Hey, we're talking to you. Don't let the summer sun melt your child's mind. Our customized learning and passion exploring programs are the perfect way to beat the dreaded summer slump. Instead of losing 2 to 3 months of learning this summer, we're helping students gain a month of learning by the fall. Our fun and engaging tutors are ready to help. Call to inquire about our programs and special promotions, including small group tutoring for only $45. We'll see you this summer.
I actually used to be deathly afraid of public speaking. I intentionally became an adjunct professor teaching tax, and I also became a Zumba instructor as a way of overcoming this fear of mine. They're both forms of leading and teaching in their own right. Bottom line though, WIS supports my passions. I truly believe that WIS wants me to be the best version of myself, and it's such an amazing feeling that I truly have the freedom to do that here.
Go ahead, take a deep breath. Oh, nice, huh? That's some clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature.
That is good. Who installed the system?
ICS. They're the leaders in HVAC. They make the ductwork at their own factory, so we even save some money.
That's impressive. You recommend them?
It's ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, Lorraine, go get a big plastic bag. Take some air home with you.
Brian, we just got a text from your wife. She wants to trade in her car for something else.
Chief, I'm a little busy.
She wants it now.
Explain to me how I'm going to do that.
We got fast lane, Brian.
Fast what?
Fast lane. Bring her in.
This is us? Paul Miller Fast Lane?
Who else would do it? Buy a car, trade a car, finance a car, have it delivered completely online.
This is so easy. She could have done it herself.
She said you're the car guy, Brian.
Isn't that the truth?
Get the fast lane, winner.
It's the only way to fly.
That's fast lane. Powered by Paul Miller. That is the Paul Miller difference.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at sussexmeat.com.
Choosing a college is
All right, welcome back. Well, as Peter pointed out, I said it's Randolph 1 and Jackson nothing. Although we are in Randolph, but the team is from Dover.
And the team is called the Cabras.
They are called Cabras FC, going against Jackson Lions FC. This halftime break was severely abbreviated. I'm not really sure if it's because
I think it's
they
the
can't
weather.
turn the light. No, I think it might be the lights. If they don't have access to turning the lights back on, they got to speed through this next 45 minutes. Because if they can't, it's going to get dark real soon because of the weather. And obviously, we're headed more towards the autumn, so it's been getting a little bit, the sunset's been a little bit earlier than it has been. But, hey, Cabras off to a good start as they're flipping sides. It's Cabras FC going from left to right on your screen, and the white kits going up against the red kits of the Jackson Lions FC, both teams from New Jersey, inside of the American Northeast Division of the the UPSL Premier Conference.
Well, yes, they've played good defensively and good offensively as we're getting a couple of drops here of the rain coming down here in Randolph. But the Cabras, they have been really there when it needs to be physically. They've had just chance after chance just going to the net. Their backs have been running, and their goalkeeper has been stellar, has been quite stellar as we go through. And they're going to have to continue to hold this pace and to hold their ability defensively and offensively as the Cabras continue to come through. And Zach, Cabra in Spanish means goat, and they're looking to be the goats of this game and of this league as they continue to try to up their goal scoring and get into a brand new league and a brand new era of Cabras football soccer.
They've certainly demonstrated the toughness of their namesake. And if you want to stay tough and tenacious all season long with really no matter what you're doing, whether you're on the pitch, off the pitch, just in your general life, check out PhysioPro's Physical Therapy. The well-being of our players is paramount, and they are fortunate to have athletic training services provided by PhysioPro's PT in Parsippany, New Jersey. Their expertise ensures that their athletes are in top condition for every game as the droplets continue to fall from the sky. So we will have no more laptop for me.
No,
that's
not if there's thunder. No more laptop.
Stashed away.
No more laptop.
I mean, I'm more concerned about it getting wet. I don't think. Listen, we're already on metal bleachers, so that doesn't bode well for us generally. As it looks like the halftime will continue just a little longer. So just to give you time to get some snacks or get a drink or whatever you need to do here on the Sunday evening, we're going to step aside during halftime right here on More Sussex Sports.
WIS gives me the freedom to be entrepreneurial, innovative. I feel supported to bring 100% of myself and my personality to work each and every day. I'm the CEO of WIS Family Office. I have 2 amazing children. I'm the daughter of French and Italian immigrants. Above all, I'm someone who derives strength and confidence from my ability to connect with others, and I strive to make a difference in their lives.
At Planet Networks, our high-speed fiber is designed to be fast. Up to 300 times faster than cable, and up to 500 times faster than DSL. As fast as 10,000 megabits per second up and down, if you speak nerd. We're talking cheetah, bullet train, lightning strike, hummingbird, race car kind of fast. Planet Networks. So fast, it's worth the wait.
Montella Inc. is a family-owned dumpster rental business located in Stanhope, New Jersey that's been around since 1984. We provide prompt quality service at a reasonable price for our New Jersey customers, whom we consider our family. We don't just take out the trash. Montella Inc. is a full-service waste management company servicing demolition sites, construction projects, factory sites, shopping centers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. Call today at 973-927-2232.
Athletic Fields of America in Montville, New Jersey has become an industry leader in synthetic turf. Serving the greater New York, New Jersey, and Eastern PA regions, we have delivered hundreds of both synthetic turf and natural grass sports fields for youth and recreational levels all the way up to the highest standards and requirements of the NCAA. Our goal with every project is to provide our customers with exceptional workmanship, extraordinary service, and professional integrity while constructing a superior product that you can enjoy for years to come. Visit athleticfieldsofamerica.com.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
For all of the perks that come with working here, I would say that the most valuable thing WIS offers is freedom. The freedom to make the most of your role, to really go beyond the job description, the freedom to think differently and be rewarded for it, and the freedom to show up as 100% who you are.
At Pascarella Brothers, we love creating great food for our customers.
Everything is made daily using real fresh ingredients, and you can taste the difference.
We specialize in creating gluten-free options for our customers, all prepared in a separate area so there's no cross-contamination.
We also pride ourselves on providing unparalleled catering for events big and small.
We love what we do.
Stop into Pascarella Brothers.
You'll taste the difference.
My room is so cold, my fish froze.
Mine's so hot, my sneakers melted.
Rooms with different temperatures? That means your HVAC system is outdated and wasting energy. At ICS, we'll install an energy-efficient system that provides a constant flow of clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature in every room. You could save money each month, and the price we quote is the price you'll pay. Get a quote today. See why we say ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, we're talking to you. Don't let the summer sun melt your child's mind. Our customized learning and passion exploring programs are the perfect way to beat the dreaded summer slump. Instead of losing 2 to 3 months of learning this summer, we're helping students gain a month of learning by the fall. Our fun and engaging tutors are ready to help. Call to inquire about our programs and special promotions, including small group tutoring for only $45. We'll see you this summer.
I actually used to be deathly afraid of public speaking. I intentionally became an adjunct professor teaching tax, and I also became a Zumba instructor as a way of overcoming this fear of mine. They're both forms of leading and teaching in their own right. Bottom line though, WIS supports my passions. I truly believe that WIS wants me to be the best version of myself, and it's such an amazing feeling that I truly have the freedom to do that here.
Go ahead, take a deep breath. Oh, nice, huh? That's some clean, fresh air at the perfect temperature.
That is good. Who installed the system?
ICS. They're the leaders in HVAC. They make the ductwork at their own factory, so we even save some money.
That's impressive. You recommend them?
It's ICS for HVAC.
I see why.
Hey, Lorraine, go get a big plastic bag. Take some air home with you.
Brian, we just got a text from your wife. She wants to trade in her car for something else.
Chief, I'm a little busy.
She wants it now.
Explain to me how I'm going to do that.
We got fast lane, Brian.
The fast what?
Fast lane. Bring her in.
This is us? Paul Miller Fast Lane?
Who else would do it? Buy a car, trade a car, finance a car, have it delivered completely online.
This is so easy. She could have done it herself.
She said you're the car guy, Brian.
Isn't that the truth?
Get the fast lane, winner.
It's the only way to fly.
That's fast lane. Powered by Paul Miller. That is the Paul Miller difference.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at sussexmeat.com.
Choosing a college is a big deal.
But I know I started right because CCM is in the top 2% of community colleges in the nation. And at County College of Morris, I get to choose from over 100 programs. Whether you're just out of high school, like me, exploring career options,
Like me.
or seeking lifelong learning,
Like me.
make CCM your choice. Like me. Go big and visit ccm.edu and aspire to be you.
If you live in Andover, Blairstown, Byram, Frankfurt, Franklin, Frieden, Frelinghuysen, Greene, Hampton, Hardwick, Hope, Knowlton, Lafayette, Newton, Sparta, Stillwater, Sussex, and Wantage. Planet Networks is building high-speed fiber in your neighborhood. Visit getplanetfiber.com today to learn more.
Hi, I'm Rob Gusweiler. As the branch manager of our Parsippany location for North Point Bank, I can tell you emphatically that our customers continue to sing our praises. Our community values us as much as we at North Point value our team. Our goal is to always exceed our clients' expectations. If you're just zipping through life and need a helping hand with any of your home buying decisions, please give us a call today.
George J. Keller and Sons want your house to be the kind of home for all to see. Best roofing, windows, siding too. Great solar and gutters, we're here for you. Our seasoned pros are unsurpassed, so give a call, we'll take your task. Transform your home, that's what we do. So give a call, we're here for you. For roofing, siding, windows and solar, we do it all for you. George J. Keller and Sons.
Your family-owned operation since 1980. Call for your free estimate.
Welcome to the arena.
Jen Basilino of the Kosher Real Estate Group.
All right, we're back in action here. Well, we are certainly wet, but the lights are on, which is what was delaying the halftime a little bit, as we're just getting rolling here in half number 2. Cabras FC are up by a score of 1-0 on Jackson. And Jackson actually has a victory so far this season, so this could be a big early season win for Cabras to get their first win in this Premier Division. Zach Smolin and Peter Lightfoot here with you.
5 foot.
5 foot? Did I say Lightfoot?
You said Lightfoot.
I meant to say 5 foot. I'm so sorry.
Did you watch the Before Time too much of that cartoon? Is that
Land
why?
Before Time?
Land Before Time.
You
Is
know
that why?
I had, but that's not the reason I said that.
Well,
I said it because I'm like wet and
here's a chance.
Struggling, and there was a good opportunity.
It was a big opportunity for the Jackson Lions. I just want to do a quick thanks also to our production team, Harvery and Kelly. You guys do great, because here's what's great about Morris Essex Sports. We're holding an umbrella. There's rain going down here. It's back and forth. It's just, what it is. But guess what? We're broadcasting for you, for Cabras. We're broadcasting soccer, and we keep on going on, and it's fantastic. Just our crew, everybody in the company that just makes this thing run. It's awesome, and we can't thank you guys enough.
No, it's certainly a good time. Paul actually said, forget about the umbrella. I'm going to go hang out right next to the field. As here we go with another tactical retreat coming over from Jackson. Jackson is moving from left to right on your screen in the red kits, and in the white kits will be Cabras FC from Dover, New Jersey. As they look to tap it back, trying to get some advancement over on that right side. They're up 1-0 thanks to Danilo Lopez, the hometown boy, as this is jetted ahead. Once again, you can tell what their game plan is. It's those center rushes that they're trying to get ahead to Sharif Ali. They've tried to get him the ball so often in this game, and it's resulted in some offsides, but it is a low-risk, high-reward type of play because if you do get him the ball in space, he's almost definitely going to score.
Which they've tried to free up him, and the way that they do that is they have to get key passes up the middle. Ramos has made a couple of those today. He's made a couple of those real key ones, as I believe we've played around 2:30 so far in this half. And, Ramos, their speed, their feet, they've been there. And I think the thing is that the Lions have been playing a little bit more controlled to start this half, but they're waiting for the gas pedal to kind of get stopped by Cabras. They're not letting off the gas. They're going, you've gotten better, well, we're going to get better and keep on going until that final whistle blows.
I was going to say, especially in a 1-0 contest, you really can't afford to take your foot off the gas. You only feel comfortable if you have, at most, maybe a 2 or 3-0 lead, or it's anything with a little bit more separation here, especially the way the season has started with the 2 losses and the single draw.
And how many times have we seen, even in high school soccer and in semi-pro soccer, where you let your foot off for 10 minutes and then you look up after 12 minutes and it was 3-0, it's 3-2. Like, you just can't.
Yeah, in a blink of an eye, as there's another opportunity with a beautiful centering feed. And we didn't see really any of those in the first half, so clearly the coaching staff and the players were cooking up something while they were waiting for the lights to tick on.
They look a little better. They look like they are more accustomed to the way that they've got to play. They've been solidifying a couple of their runs, and they've been moving Lions out there, and it seems to be, instead of trying to shuffle out a couple of those passes, like we said, it's true to get aerial passes, but they're making some runs, some real solid runs for Jackson.
Trying to get it back for Ali, nothing doing as they paddle ball it back over towards the center. And now they have it drifting back and over towards the middle again. Trying to force something, but a defender right in the way, as currently the 18 of Matt Fuentes took control and sends it off over towards the far side for Jake Connors.
And these are guys we haven't seen touch the ball a lot. We haven't seen a lot of Matt Fuentes. We haven't seen a lot on that side of Mike Casper, who's laboring a little bit at midfield. Like, these are guys for Jackson that have been there, that have absolutely been solidified and been power players.
Now they get back over towards the middle. If he's onside, this will be great, but he's not. He knew it too, but then was trying to sneak ahead with a little rush anyway, because, hey, you never know what the officials see. Ali certainly had plenty of pastures in front of him to try to get the job done right there, but another whistle inside of now the, oh boy, now I have to do some math. I think we're inside the 50th minute now. Yes, we are. Jetting forward and getting it back over, an easy roll to Bukachevsky. So that was the least threatening attack that we had seen so far as he picks it up right in front of Messiah, who's putting on just a little bit of pressure there.
It was a quietly smart play by Messiah, because we've noticed that, well, the goalkeeper has not really been too comfortable with his feet. A lot of the goal kicks have kind of careened to the side. They haven't been as high as he'd like. And he's been a little rocky under pressure, and you want as much momentum as you can going at Cabras' goalkeeper. So, yeah, this is a push where that pressure actually could give momentum to your team.
And trying to weave through a bunch of defenders right there, the 21 of Andrew G. Let's see if the wet conditions change things a little bit. Now, with this playing surface, it's not going to get slower and groggier like you would if you were playing on a natural pitch, but it is going to be rather slippery here on the turf with the water. So we'll see if that ends up slowing them down in case they want, for safety reasons, to stutter step a little more, as we had a tackle that caught a lot of leg of a Cabras player, and now we have 2 down, including Messiah over on Jackson. Not sure who the Cabra down is just yet, waiting for him to turn around. But both players get up on their own power. Messiah playing aggressively from that striker position. We're going to have a long free kick way inside of Jackson territory that's sent right back where it came from almost by Valdivia. Now back over towards midfield. Possession for the Lions over on the far sideline. Working their way over towards, well, that big red barn field house that's deep and over to our left side, and now it's recovered yet again by Jose Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets it to Messiah in the middle, surrounded by a pair of Cabras. Working it more over towards the corner. Rodriguez again trying to force it away, and it is turned over by the White Kits as they're back over towards the center here at the cage in Randolph, New Jersey. 1-0 leading our Cabras FC, looking for their first victory in the UPSL Premier Conference.
Well, it's a good run that they've had as they're trying to come for a cross. Also wanted to let you know, you were wondering, as that's just a bit too far, and it'll be a goal kick for Jackson. It was Daniel Diaz that went down. He was the Cabra that went down, but he looks to be good on his feet. He's made a couple of runs up the middle, so trying to stretch the field and get over there for a pass. He's been up to his feet like that slippery field, as we saw on Friday night. Oh, not soccer, but we had a slew of football games across high school here on Morris Sussex Sports, and there were a couple, like in the game that I covered, Parsippany versus Whippany Park, where running back was on his way towards the end zone and kind of turf tripped because it had been raining about 45 minutes before kickoff. So that does happen. The rain falling on here in Randolph is going to be somewhat of an issue. But right now, the Cabras have had some problems. They've had fortitude. They've had to go through a couple trials and tribulations in this game from the weather and from the Lions, and they have survived, and they have really aced all of their tests here, Zach.
Gomez not liking the cut. They have aced all the tests. As they have allowed a few more rushes from Jackson, and that was just a sloppy play right there about the Cabras after that throw, and it looks like there was a couple of miscommunications there, as Gomez didn't originally like the cut that he saw, and then right afterward, when they did execute the play, it ended up dribbling out of bounds. This is a long haul over towards the Cabras bench, and it'll bounce over where they're keeping the spare balls there.
Gomez wanted Ramos to cut, and Ramos didn't cut that second time, and that's what caused the confusion there. Yeah, they're looking a little duller than they were in the first half, but maybe that's not totally their fault, because they've looked a little duller because iron sharpens iron, and the Lions have been much sharper defensively. They have looked much better than they did in half number one, Zach.
Nice job, the ball popping up in the air. They have looked a lot better as they've successfully been able to slow down some of the Cabras' quick passes when they get in transition, and of course in the midfield as well. Back over for Peterson now. Peterson with a long jet with a little bit of backspin there to help his teammates stay on side, as he's able to execute the pass ahead to Rodriguez. He's stuck over in the corner as he has it jaunted away by the Cabras number 11. We do not have an 11 over here on the roster, so perhaps it was the 21 of Federico Diaz.
Yeah, that was Diaz.
And now we have a curving shot, not nearly enough slice on it though, and it will result in a goal kick coming up for Cabras FC as we're inside now the 55th minute.
Well, they went to Messiah again, and Messiah was launching and kind of like, I could try to rip this on their keeper high, glove side, which is where he has been vulnerable. But just as he was about to launch that, two white shirts immediately converged, and that's a big thing. If you're getting outplayed offensively now, because that's what it's being with the Lions, then if you're trying to run, you can't run. Defensively converge, get some stops, force some turnovers, make some great tackles, and then maybe you get one run again to get a 2-0 lead and kind of plod your way right through.
The weather and the lights applying a little extra drama here as the Cabras looking for their first victory. Currently up 1-0 on Jackson Lions FC. Coming all the way up again from more southern New Jersey. A little bit of a trip, and it's not going to be a lot of fun to drive home in this weather. So certainly that might add a little extra motivation to get something done in the rain. As here's Ali retreating the ball back over to his teammate.
And now we're approaching through the 61st minute. So this game, continuing to go, only a little less than 30 minutes and change, whatever added time is. So as we continue to move through the second half, the urgency will continue to pick up and continue to race, especially if you're a supporter of the Jackson Lions.
Happy to bring in the action here of the UPSL Northeastern American Division here on Morris Sussex Sports and also on the Cabras FC YouTube channel. Happy that you're joining us here on a Saturday night, or Sunday night. Yeah, it's already Sunday, man. This weekend really jetted by. You know what messed me up a little bit, Peter, is the fact that my football game got moved to Saturday. So it was a little awkward playing on that Saturday morning, the Hanover Park Madison class. So it was certainly a lot of fun.
Oh, that was what a physical hit there. It's going to be. That's going to come probably against.
Yeah, he's getting himself a card there.
Yeah, I mean, this is football, not football. He goes right into him. But, they're trying to physically. It's not good for the Cabras, but it is in some way, and I will explain why. They are realizing the urgency the Lions have. They're trying to physically match them toe-to-toe. But as you were saying, yeah, that was a good game out of a park. The color broadcaster at Wallkill Valley for the Wallkill Valley High Point game that went to double overtime. So, yeah, I understand that we had some great games. And earlier this morning, we had a game on Morris Sussex Sports, a 42-32 win by Hackettstown over North Warren. And as we said, we're going to get back at it on Tuesday. But happy to cover this Cabras game. But a big kick coming up for the Lions.
Yep, and who's taking it? But Giuseppe Barone. He's taken all of their free kicks so far today. They tried to get a little too fancy earlier in the first half. Let's see if they try something more cut and dry, as they do send it more directly at the net, and it ends up right inside of the hands of Bukachevsky, the Ukrainian.
Well, that was launching. It was kind of taking a Lion dribble over to the foot of William Messiah, who has had a numerous amount of scoring chances. He was very amicable, very energetic. When I spoke to their coach, I was seeing Messiah. He was really running around in quite spirits, making a couple of good plays in their passing drills. So I kind of felt, even just watching him, he was going to be a power player. He had a good year last year, one of the few Lions that's still on that team from last year. And he's definitely forced the Cabras have to deal with.
Chipping it over to their number 9, who is not identified on our roster, unfortunately. He's been touching the ball a lot here. And wishing that I was able to identify him by name, but that's okay coming through, as they did give us their names and numbers of the players to the best of their abilities before this contest with their coach.
Right, the starting lineup was listed, but he was a late call-in, and he's been a good player.
Yeah,
for them.
It's weird. They gave me a list of subs too, but he's just not there. As this popped way up. Over on the near sideline, takes a big bounce as there's a swing and a miss on a kick, and now it'll be handled once again by the 15 of Jonathan Gomez.
Well, Gomez has had his...
Oh, look at this. A little bit of a conveyor belt that's now it's brought down by Mike Casper. So I thought it was Cabras' ball because of how many of them had touched it, but it ended up being an inbound throw, and now here comes Barone in the middle. Back over on the outside, over on the far side, in a little bit of a dark corner that's not quite covered by the lights. Cabras playing some solid defense, playing a little bit off some of these attackers. So they're trying to keep things back a bit. Here's Barone. Working off his right foot.
Well, they gotta defensively get a stop. Their sweepers have not been there where they've had to be like they were in the first half.
And they call Casper on that one. On the rush to the side, so the Cabras will get it a little more safely this time around. 14 minutes into the second half here. Still 1-0 Cabras on the score by Danilo Lopez. To our knowledge, it is his first goal of this fall 2023 season. That's something that's really cool about this league, too, is they actually have 2 seasons per calendar year, a spring and a fall, and you can promote or get relegated within both of those seasons, and that's exactly what happened with Cabras FC, is that they were able to find themselves promoted after a very successful spring where they went to a semifinal round in their playoff run.
Well, I mean, we will see how they end up doing. And, promotion is big. And for all those watching, you watch the NHL, the NBA, NFL, whatever it is, this is a common occurrence as a substitution being made for the Cabras.
Yeah,
a
common occurrence. We'll see who's coming in here.
For soccer, Zach, where you'll have relegation or demotion for those watching other sports who are kind of confused. If you're a really good team in a season in a lower league, you can go up to a upper league. Leicester City did that in the Premier League and ended up winning the Premier League a couple of years ago. One of the greatest upset stories in professional sports. Or even get demoted, and that happens in leagues all across soccer. So it's really good if you're a Cabras supporter. You were great in that big pond, and that small pond as a big fish, and now you're trying to grow as a small fish in a big pond, and this goal scoring ability, and so far holding this lead is big, but they are getting pushed. The Lions are really coming for the throat here.
There was
Zach.
a gorgeous stop there by Ray Ramos, stopping that grounded cross as entering the game now is the number 6 of Samuel Giraldo. So he'll be coming in for Call, who had a yellow card. So potentially just trying to avoid maybe him getting another one. He does have a little bit more of an aggressive style of play. Not dirty, but just a little bit more aggressive. And that was why he ended up being called for that yellow earlier on, as this is blasted deep here now by Erlenborn, who hasn't faced a shot on goal after facing 6 of them over in the first half. And now another offside called, as it really has been a tale of two halves. Ryan Peterson now rushing in, as Jackson looks like more of the aggressor this time around in this section of 45 minutes of play.
As you'll absolutely see what happens with the Cabras, as they're getting pushed, but they're not breaking. They're continuing to just kind of bend as it goes along, and we are going through, and we will be approaching.
There's Ali offside once again. And the Cabras supporters not happy about that one, but it did look like he cut off the defender a little early. Honestly, if Ali can learn to stutter step just a little bit shorter, he does have such a burst of speed on that first step that he can turn some of those offsides into some bigger runs, maybe after watching a little bit of film after these next couple of games.
Or maybe not even stutter step, maybe just kind of try to make a move on a guy with the ball. So if you can, I think, kind of change it up, make a shorter pass up to him, have him make a move, have him run through a guy, have him kind of try to maybe nutmeg him, push through, flip the ball up over the shoulder, do that kind of thing. And, you can make a move athletically, make him, and that also gives you confidence. Here's a rush for Cabras now.
Yeah, Ali's threading the needle back over to Giraldo. It's popped up. Giraldo recovers, now heads it to the middle. There's a big blast, and now in front, not realizing how close he was to the ball, was Valdivia, and another break for Jackson, as that could have been a huge series of unfortunate events against the roadside.
Well, yes, that Cabras nearly made it 2-0, but credit their goalkeeper. He was down there at the line making a couple of great saves. And even if they do lose 1-0, there's a lot to be proud about when you look at how you were tending the goal for the Jackson Lions. He makes another tremendous stop.
Yeah, he makes a stop. It was right at him, but he did seal off the edge. He was in perfect positioning there, as Erlenborn again keeps this a 1-0 affair and keeps the Lions in this one. Now they're going to come up with a rush of their own, and he whiffs on the tackle, and he's able to keep moving. Here's the number 9 of Jackson now, working on one defender in front, trying to make sure he strafes him correctly is Jonathan Gomez, and he forces them over the line. I think this should be a goal kick. And the call, I believe, is going to be a corner, but I don't know about that. I don't think Gomez ever touched it.
Gomez didn't, and the Cabras are not happy about that. Ramos almost makes a spectacular sliding tackle, but they've been rushed. They've been rushed by their number 19, the Lions, Barone again, and he's been a great offensive force.
Now they just get it out of there. Probably the best the best course of action right there. Just get it away from that keeper here, as we're 20 minutes in now to the second half, so about 25 left to go as this goes out of bounds right by the Cabras bench. It's funny to see all of the bench players all huddled under the tent over there, except for maybe one or two. They're hanging out over by the bench, but the rest of the staff trying to stay dry here on a late Sunday evening here in Morris County.
It's a big game for both teams. And for the Cabras, they know that, again, as we said, the gas pedal can't be lifted. They may want to hear, because they're just not giving their offensive surges. Zach, they may want to try to drive the ball and try to get some set pieces. That might be what they need.
Well, they certainly need to get a little bit more aggressive offensively, because that's what worked, and they're able to play defense via their offense. So they got a good cross to their number 9 here. One defender stays in front, puts his hands behind his back, and it's a great stop by the 23 of Matteo Landino. Landino auditioning for keeper with that play, as he makes a gorgeous stop with his legs. And now the Cabras are in transition, as there's a violent hit and a yellow card going against Peterson.
Well, one of the Cabras went down hard. That is the number 6, Samuel Giraldo, who was one of the new subs. And, he took a hit there. But back to the play, kind of talk about that replay, that play that was made at the goal line by number 23 out there, Matteo Landino, was huge. He stood there. The goalkeeper was not AWOL, but it was on a weak side of his leg, and just the two legs, just a chopped block. You could hear it from here, just clank, the way the ball went off the two knees. And it is important as a good back to stop the ball when you come in and just clear it out, even if you're not a sweeper. And he made a fantastic play, and his goalkeeper is going to love him for that no matter what the score is at the final tonight.
Ramos with the captain armband coming in and belting one deep over inside the box, trying to force them to make a play. And a center field grab by Erlenborn is now his 8th stop on 9 shots on goal, as this will bound over the boundary line. Giving a chase there was Spiliotopoulos, a name that we haven't said too much over in this half, but he was certainly a key player as that right back over in the beginning of this contest.
They've not been able to get the ball back and set those set passes. That's why we haven't really heard about him as much.
So taking their time to grab that ball, drying it off a little bit. Ramos did a nice job popping up, taking his time, just trying to milk something off the clock before he got that free kick after getting slammed with the penalty on him. Or rather, on the aggressor of that play. Back over towards midfield, sliding to keep it in bounds. All the way from the other end was Ali making a defensive play, but it ends up clearing the boundary anyway.
Well, for those Cabras fans that are enjoying this stream, well, their next game going to be on the road in Metuchen against New Jersey FC. And their next home game, that coming up on the 24th of September. Their next home game will be on October 1st here against the New York Renegades, one of the better teams in this league.
That's going to be a great contest there. We'll have it for you here on the Cabras YouTube channel, powered by Morris Sussex Sports. I know that I'll be there, bringing you all the action for that one. As this is funneled back, Ray Ramos, Zach Smolin, and Peter Fivefoot hanging out with you on a rainy Sunday evening here in Randolph, New Jersey. 1-0. Right now, the Cabras are the leaders over Jackson, who do have a victory this season. They are 1-0-1. Cabras still looking for that first victory. They do have points on the table, though, as they have that single draw that came against the Philadelphia Union, which was also the team that Jackson was able to beat. And now the sub is injured. Geraldo comes down. The trainer's going to go look at him as he was getting beat up a little bit in the box before, as now much of the coaching staff coming out as well.
Well, Geraldo was the one that was in at midfield, but as he gets attention to here on Morris, well, here on Cabras YouTube channel, as well as powered by Morris Sussex Sports, I would like to pose something to you. So what here do you feel like this Cabras team is lacking that they need to do to power themselves to a big win, their first of the league?
I mean, they've been a little, in this second half, honestly, they've been a little soft offensively. The first half, it was pure offensive dominance, and they were able to make a lot of quick passes, long runs, and yes, their defense was coming together with some big stops, Peter. But, you know, they were playing, again, defense through offense. When you put a lot of pressure on a team offensively, especially in transition-based games like soccer, like hockey, where it's constantly moving back and forth, it's really difficult. You're wearing down the other team, and they're almost too tired to make some deep runs, or they're thinking a bit too much about how to defend instead of looking for those lanes to go for offensively. So honestly, we talked about them, you know, taking their foot off the gas potentially. That's kind of happened offensively, but their defense is so strong and they've worked cohesively together that they've managed to keep this a 1-0 contest and hang on to this lead. As we see Geraldo now hustling over towards the sideline, we'll see who they bring in for him, as I think this will be done for, or day done for him.
Yeah, it will be. Here's my take on it also. How do you energize a team that's just getting beaten down offensively and, you know, energize your defense and trying to keep your way into a game and get the other team struggling until your offense can wake up? What you get, how you do that, is incredible goalkeeping. Credit their goalkeeper. Credit the Lions keeper. He's been incredible. In soccer especially, you know, we were talking about professional soccer before. How many times, even though they were a top-tier goal-scoring team. How many times in the early 2000s? Oh, here's a run.
Here we go for Ali, and this time he's onside. He has room in front, one defender in tow, sends it off to the side, and it's deflected away. And another gorgeous stop by Erlenborn. And fortunately for him, that rebound was not detrimental, as that was a very dangerous play. As now this will bounce, well, for the first time near the fence. When they were playing over in Morristown, at the big park, during the spring, the ball was leaving the field constantly, but we haven't seen it happen once today.
Yeah, it bounced a
here in
lot.
the cage.
Yeah, it definitely bounced a lot. I was going to say is how many times you saw Real Madrid in the early 2000s have some problems goal scoring, and Iker Casillas would come in and just save games. Like, that's where they're getting at. And just as I was about to announce that, what a kick save and a beauty he just made.
It was
keeping
a kick
them.
save and a beauty.
He's keeping them in this game, and that is big, because that's also taking a little confidence off of your offense. Your goal kick, taking a little confidence off your offense, Zach, because your offense keeps pushing and pushing, and the goalkeepers make save after great save after great save after great save. And he's just been flawless and been an incredible player for the Lions.
Yeah, when somebody's doing that, it motivates you offensively, lights a little fire. Like, all right, like, we got to start doing this for him. You know, he's having himself a phenomenal game, and right now there's not anything to show for it on the scoreboard other than, you know, the other team with only one goal up there. As now, with another opposing run, here come the Lions, starting the needle, looking for Messiah, but it slips off the end of his boot as it ends up going back for Peterson. Jets it over to the number 9, a little too much heat on it, as able to get back in there in pursuit is Gomez. Gomez tangling him up in the corner, and it's kicked right off the spikes of the Jackson number 9, and they will have a throw-in. Let's hit the goal line boundary. I don't think it did, though, so they'll be forced to throw.
That's another thing, though, that from them is that when you're an offensive team that's struggling, it also says, hey, if we make some mistakes, our goalie's going to bail us out. Maybe we do have a chance.
There's Messiah! And he's able to make it happen. There we go with Messiah just threading it along the end. And what a shot through the corner. He was able to find the exact space in between Bukashevetsky and the post, and now we're all tied up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, just after that, right? That was great, Zach. You kind of saw how they were kind of battling off the edge, and that's a ball that's just slipping right through the hands, and all you need is one.
Yep.
All you need is one, and that trickles through for Messiah, who has been the best non-goalkeeper Lion today, and fitting that he is the one that ties it. Now the Cabras got to deal with a tie game.
I mean, he's been an excellent striker, and yeah, honestly, this is an issue for the Cabras, who have not looked very good offensively so far in this second half. So they're not up at 1. Maybe this lights a fire under them, although immediately some inside penetration coming through. Here's the number 9 for Jackson. Back over to Messiah. Messiah with a little bit of a rush, and a beautiful sliding block coming through by, I believe that should be, well, it is Geraldo. I think if he's back in. He's the only one with a number low enough that would match what I saw on the back of his jersey. It's going to result in a corner, but honestly, you'll take that. Otherwise,
that
it's
was
almost
him.
a free run at the net. Yeah, so Geraldo is back in this game.
Geraldo's a soldier, man. He's taking a couple hits.
Here's the corner. High in the air. Right on the boundary of the box. Now it's kept in and volleyed through. We've transitioned from soccer to Brazilian volleyball, as now this is heaved deep. Ali would be onside if he can get a touch here. A little bit of hand fighting, turns around, now uses his body to box him out over to his right side, creating some space. Going to be a sharp angle shot, stops, now goes again towards the goal line. The defender's doing a nice job with some Dance Revolution moves to stay in front, and now gets hit after the whistle by the 77 of Mike Casper. And Ali did everything he could to keep that ball in his possession.
He's got to do this season what he just did more. Instead of trying to just run through or run faster, he's a bigger guy. He does kind of run through him, but when the ball comes, kind of makes a flip, moves through, goes back out, gets the ball again, keeps on moving below where that goal line is, and tries to push ahead and make a pass. Yes, he loses the ball eventually, but more of that, like one move, two move, one play with the ball. He is one of the most offensively talented players that we've got in this league, and he's got to use his skill, size, and speed, all of it together. You have just a disastrous weapon for another team to deal with.
All right, so another substitution coming in, as leaving the pitch is Spiliotopoulos, and it looks like coming on will be Saku Sanor.
It's
so
urgency.
It looks like he's being forced off almost.
Right, it's urgency time though, Zach. because it's less than 10 minutes left till added time. We're tied at 1, and it's urgency for the Cabras. The second half has been rough, but all in all, they've played a really nice game.
I think we still have maybe around 15 left. It's hard. The only thing we got is my stopwatch.
Right.
I have about 13 and a half minutes left to play. And honestly, if they didn't add any stoppage in the first half, I don't know how much they're going to add in the second, as now Ali working as a distributor, trying to bound it ahead to Mayorga.
And with
Now
this
back over
rain,
to midfield.
too. Yeah, sorry about that. But this rain, too, is another thing that, nobody really wants to play through a monsoon. And the other thing you were saying about how far Jackson is to drive these players home. So that's another thing to think about as well.
A little bit of motivation as the number 9 throws it through again to Mike Casper. Trying to box out, falling down. I mean, it looked like a game of Twister at midfield there, the way that both of the bodies were being contorted. Back to the defensive line for Cabras FC. They got to look downfield and see if they can find anything good here, as they have possession, which has not come often here in half number 2. Boots one ahead. Again, trying to force a Hail Mary pass over to Ali. Nothing doing, but off the rebound. Initially got it to Mayorga and then intercepted away. Back for Jackson's number 9. Tapping it over towards the middle and threading a few passes through as Casper sent it over to the side and now kicked aside by Barone. Over on the other end, they've got a little bit of a rush going, but the 17 of the Cabras and Dominguez is able to cut him off, but I think he touched it out. And it'll be a throw-in near the corner kick vicinity coming up for Jackson Lions FC.
Watch for them to go number 9's way. He's in that middle area there, and he's touched the ball a lot today for the Lions.
And he's been a good distributor trying to find the ball over to Messiah as they give it right back to Cabras FC.
Well, I think you make a good point about Jackson wanting to win this. It's rainy. It's a good momentum because it's farther away, and we haven't had much soccer to look at, but we've had a lot of football in Morris Sussex Sports. And yesterday, I felt like it was imperative. We did a game in Connecticut, King High School versus Morristown Beard. No, it was imperative for Morristown Beard going all the way to Connecticut. You want to win that.
Yep.
It was a back-and-forth game, and they won it at the very end with about 20 seconds left. So I think especially if you're traveling a long way, there's weather, there's all this stuff going on. That was a humid game, that one. I think it's so important for your confidence. You go on that bus trip or that trip down or wherever you're going back home, it's just a happy ride. Then they got a corner to possibly make that happen here, Zach.
Yeah, let's see what they can get done here as entering the game is Wellington Warty for Cabras FC. I did not quite see who left over on the end, but Warty is in, adding another big body and another imposing presence. Still tied up at 1 apiece as they get it over to Ali. Ali using his speed, and now it's a foot race, turning the Jets on by the boundary. And flag is going the other direction, so a good hustle by Ali. But Jackson able to pick it up. He has had some seriously solid runs going up that sideline.
He hustled. He's been physical. He just, on the wrong side of a couple of offside calls. And I hate to bring up calls that happened before, but, that one that was just a hair. It was so close. But he's got to keep doing what he's doing. But I understand, though, when you're making a couple of these runs and you really have confidence in yourself, you could think of yourself at least getting a shot on goal, like we could really push it, and then that flag goes out. You're like, oh, my God. Like, I can understand that. But he's not – it's not like he's losing confidence. He's gaining confidence as he runs. And I think that's good for him because I could understand the frustration as that ball goes out, just seeing that flag go up over and over and over.
Yeah, that one goes out this time from Messiah. He and Casper couldn't quite get on the same page over by the boundary, so a little extra defensive pressure being put forth. And now the man that was doing that, Jonathan Gomez, will get it done as he hauls it in, but now player down. It is Casper, who looks like he wants to just jog off the field as they're going to make a late game substitution with just 9 minutes left in regulation time, all tied up at 1 in this American Northwest, or rather Northeast Division. Northwest. This isn't Northwest of anywhere in this hemisphere. What am I talking about?
I don't know what it'd be Northwest.
Actually, you know what? No, this is northwest of where I live.
Well, yeah, and I guess New Jersey is northwest of maybe, I don't know,
the Atlantic Ocean. That's right, Paul.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
That's it.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Paul Arvery, our producer extraordinaire and our human atlas over on our left side.
Yeah.
as he's experiencing the feeling of most of a map of the world as he is soaking wet, much like the ocean, as this is an illegal throw-in. You know what, though? This works for Paul because, he likes tropical climates. He has a Hawaiian shirt on all the time, so that includes a lot of rain, and he's soaking it in and absorbing even more knowledge on world geography as this game goes on. Each drop is another country capital that he's absorbing into that big brain of his. This is forced out of bounds here.
Yeah, that one was Istanbul, that one that just dropped in. But just for any viewers that, maybe not interested in not knowing the league or newer to it, yes, this is just like most soccer around the world. If we get to the end of regulation and the end of added time and we are stayed up at a tie, it will be a draw. But remember that draw is really important because you get into the end of the year, Cabras go on a run, Jackson goes on a run, and that draw could be very important. So I understand that this is a game. It's only the fourth game that these teams are playing, but incredibly
third
important.
game for Jackson,
third,
actually.
Right. Right. Fourth for Cabras. Yeah. It's like a draw is important. They haven't won, but they did draw before. They're not 0-3. The Cabras did have a draw, their first non-loss before in this league, and this could possibly be their second.
Yeah, helping to build some momentum. And, of course, you're just promoted. Obviously, you want to compete immediately. But really, those realistic goals are to be competitive and show that you belong in this league, right? Trying to make a home in there. And they've improved each and every game, coming off a draw against the Philadelphia Union, a team that actually Jackson FC was able to beat. So if they could come up with a good result and at least get points on the table after today's game, I'm sure the coaching staff in the front office will consider it a positive outcome in today's contest.
Yeah, different story, obviously, it being the Major League Soccer. But look at Miami FC. They really struggled to start the year, and now they've gotten some more transfers in. Messi, obviously, and they're
that's
not
Inter Miami, isn't it?
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
They're not as good as they were supposed to be, but they're continuing to build each game, and their expansion. They're going to work it through, and I think this is what the Cabras are looking at.
I agree with your comparison up until the fact that yes, they added the best player in the world to it. I don't think that either of these teams necessarily have that kind of option. But I know you're talking about. Sometimes you get off to a slow start.
But to be fair, Ali, obviously not the best player in the world, but a really great player in this league, and he's had his opportunities.
Yes, he's
very continuing to build chemistry as well, is because no matter if you're Ali or if you're Messi or Ronaldo or Romelu Lukaku, whoever, you have to build chemistry in your game. Even Lionel Messi, who might be the greatest player the world has ever seen, you build and you grow with your team and with your skill set every time you touch the ball in practice and in games. And that's what this team is doing as well.
The rain is starting to get heavier, mirroring the urgency that both teams need to have here as we're getting right under that 7 minutes remaining in regulation.
Yes, because now, Zach, there is a third opponent that has joined, and that's the weather, and that's going to really wreak havoc on both these teams.
You also argue the clock as well, as this might be one of the easier saves from Erlenborn. I was from way outside. He has 11 shots that have come his way, and he has stopped 10 of them.
If you can push the ball and get it on the keeper, this is actually the weather actually can help these teams get a win because not the keeper's fault, but the water is going to really well the ball on those kind of wet drop-ins that could really go off a glove and in the goal.
And it's also tough to see. It's slippery, as you mentioned. It's a gorgeous move by Erlenborn. A little shake and bake on Ali, who was putting a ton of pressure on the keeper there inside the box. Now over away on the outside, back to Messiah. This is the farthest back I think I've seen Messiah so far today. He's almost lived on the other hemisphere of the field. As this will tumble out of bounds and go right back into the clutches of Cabras. We have 5 minutes left to go in regulation.
5 minutes, but it's going to be quick because these teams don't have time to kind of rest on their laurels.
Well, that was an aggressive hit right there coming from Barone as Ramos took one to the chest there. Yeah, there's another card coming in. So that's the second yellow card of this contest that went against Jackson. First for Barone. Ryan Peterson was also flashed a piece of cardboard earlier on.
This is good for the Cabras. Remember earlier in the half I was speaking about they needed the benefit of set pieces. And late in regulation, with the score all square at 1 goal apiece, they're going to get it.
Under 5 minutes left. Cabras FC with the free kick from midfield, and they opt to just chip it off to the side. First touching it there was Mateo Ladino. Now they try to charge it inside the box, nothing doing. Forcing it back in and then cycling out is Sonor, who's the late entrance to this game. Sonor now retreating after initially coughing the ball up to the number 8 of Jose Rodriguez on Jackson. A little back and forth affair, playing tennis much like the U.S. Open that just ended today. And Wartree on the outside and just offside once again are the Cabras. But again, you have to, you might not like it that, they've been consistently offside all game, but that's how they're trying to administer some pressure here. And eventually one of those is going to work, like we saw with Ali before, and he was just barely forced out because he was double-teamed when he broke through.
Yeah, they haven't had as many crosses. The Lions defense has been stiff. They can't really cross the ball into the box. So what they've been doing is they've been trying to establish runs. Most of these have been called offside, but they've had a couple that have led into the scoring chances. And remember, that run down the line, that was what created the first goal for Cabras.
I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a mist that explodes out of the ball every time there's hard contact. And again, that's what you were mentioning before. That makes it even tougher for some of the goalkeepers to see when it's coming right at them at whatever velocity we're seeing some of these blasts come through at.
And the water also hits your glove.
And it looks like they tripped him down. Messiah's got it all alone. Moves to the side. Shakes and bakes around the defender. Tip through and he scores. But that might be a little bit of a controversial play here, as it looks like they tripped up Plaza there before it happened. But if not, it is a late goal by Messiah, and that's exactly what they needed here at the end of this game.
Well, Angel Dominguez was trying to play his best goalkeeper, and he almost hooked that ball off the line. This is going to be controversial. Cabras doesn't like it. If this stands, which it looks like it does, it'll be the second goal of the evening for Messiah, who has had a really great game. He's been up and down the field. He's played good defense, and now he has given the Lions the lead 2-1.
Jackson roaring back from a 1-0 deficit. 2 unanswered goals here in the second half, and the Cabras need to score now. Not soon. They need to score now as we're approaching the very end of this contest. Under 2 minutes left to go. Playing with some urgency and immediately turning over on the other end of the field. And now they've got it back on their own end. Playing a little bit more conservatively and defensively now are Jackson, as they don't need a goal now, as they do have that 1-goal advantage.
Well, if the Lions, whatever the Lions coaching staff said, worked gangbusters, because, I mean, you come out and you get your Energizer Bunny score 2 goals for you. You play great defense. Your goalkeeper, I mean, what did I say again? I said if they come back, credit the goalkeeper.
And here's Messiah again with the run, but he's getting cut off. Yeah, Erlenborn's been sensational. 10 saves today. Little backward pass. Sniffing it out immediately was the 11 of Brad Praley. They're now very deep in Cabras territory. They're running out of time here. The clock has become their enemy here in this second half.
Also, Bugachevsky, he may lose this game. Those 2 goals, not his fault. Those were both great fakes that were thrown through him. That first goal was off his glove, but that was mainly because the defense was stymied. And then the second one, he was just faked out of his boots. Don't give any discredit. Bugachevsky's played a great game.
Yeah, he looked really good. He stopped 1 of 3 shots that went his way. We're inside the final minute here in Randolph, New Jersey. Cabras FC staring down potentially their 3rd loss of the season after leading for most of this game. And at a lot of points, at least looking like they were going to come away with a draw. They need to score here. Pushing up ahead, and a beautiful, aggressive defensive play coming over again by Praley.
Praley just boots this down the pitch, and what a chance there. And, defensively, that's another defensively stop. Cabras need a goal in the next, 10, 15 seconds, and they're not getting it. The defense for the Lions are in shutdown mode, Zach.
As this will ricochet off the far side. Actually, I think that hit the scoreboard over here at John DeSilva Memorial Field.
It did. It hit the scoreboard, and then it went right into the field hockey net.
I think it'd be funny if it turned the scoreboard on after it hit it there, after just having to keep time over here. All right, so according to my time, we're into extra here. They might give him a minute or 2. And the Cabras, again, need to score immediately to try to tie this one up and at least exit Randolph with a draw.
So, again, with the scoreboard, those listening, you're just going to really have to listen because it is kind of muggy here for that triple whistle by the referees. And the referees come out, and they have officiated a great game. A couple of offsides, but the calls a little controversial, but they haven't been crazy. I think the officiating's been very well done.
I think all the offsides to me appeared to be correct. Even that one that was by a hair over for Ali, I think he was certainly offside. The one thing I would want to look back at again is, that Messiah little fake in front of the box. I thought that there was a Jackson player that tripped down one of the Cabras there, but again,
Right, and that's the one controversial thing. Like, besides that, the officiating has been fantastic.
Today. And that's always something that's a challenge, especially at these lower levels as Messiah takes a shot. It's hard to find good officials, but they've got a good group of 4 out here today that have done an excellent job.
And they've also, one of the underrated things about officials is really coming in placement. And there was like a couple times where players were kind of getting chippy and you're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going there, like the chastising, making sure that these players stay in line, keeping in management of a game. Many, many games that I know a professional that have gone out of hand and the referees had to take it in their own hands, and these officials have done a great job of that.
Mayorga getting aggressive on Erlenborn, just hanging on to it. Again, we are in that extra time. At most, 1 or 2 more minutes must be remaining. As this is heaved ahead, punched to the other side. It's hard to score when you're on the wrong side of the field. As they'll get a spinning ball on the ground now to Gomez. Gomez needs to get it ahead of the playmakers. Looks forward, tries to jet it ahead. Nobody even close to that one, as Ali was several meters away. And now it's right over next to the goalpost. Little showboating there by Erlenborn, just juggling the ball in front of Ali.
When you're the Cabras and you get the ball because you don't know when that whistles are coming, you got to get that ball and just boot it up into the offensive side so they are forced not to blow a whistle.
Yeah, you have to make something happen almost immediately as... Right there, Messiah tried to get up, working slowly. That's not what they need. They need to push it forward. As, again, they were looking over to Wartree.
They're trying to run that stretch. They're trying to run it over and over and over again. But honestly, usually I would say that's not the play. But right now, when the game could end literally now, they need to push.
No, they have to keep checking up these Hail Marys. As once again, they're trying to send it to the middle. Ali makes contact, but he is surrounded by Lions. Does manage to feather it through. Back over for Warty. Warty with a little bit of space in front. Chips it. Maybe didn't get as much of it as he was hoping for. As they get it back over towards the center. Still with possession. Warty to the middle, but nobody was running through on the cut. And this will heave back over towards the middle, and we should hear triple whistles in just a moment.
He's got to rush to throw that ball in, and they got to get guys going to the goal now.
I saw an official put one finger in the air. There might be 1 minute left of extra time. So I think somebody might have been asking for it.
So if there's a 1 minute left, you're going to get 2 to 3 maybe chances offensively here for the Cabras.
Let's see what they can get done. Sonor over towards the side. Slow roller over towards the goal line. Is stopped there by Erlenborn. Erlenborn can take his time, puts it back on the ground, now back inside his gloves, and will race it back over to the inside box. There's the triple whistles, and certainly a disappointing conclusion for this contest. There's a lot to like from this Cabras team, though. They certainly proved that they belong here, but definitely could have come out with a victory here today, just crumbling in the second half.
Well, a big 2-1 victory for the Lions. And for the Cabras, a lot of them on their knees, but they're going to have handshakes very soon. Big game coming up for New Jersey FC. They're going to be playing them. But for the Cabras, you can't hang your head on too much. Offensively, they had it. They just got stymied by some great plays offensively by the Lions and just incredibly goalkeeping for Jackson.
Yeah, both goalkeepers were excellent, particularly Erlenborn, who he and Messiah are co-players of the match. Messiah with a pair of goals in the second half to give his team the victory, and Erlenborn with 10 saves on 11 shots on goal. And it was a great game all around for both sides. Danilo Lopez was excellent, scoring a goal that initially put the Cabras up 1-0. But we got to wrap things up here on this rainy day. So for all of us involved with this production, Matt McGarrett, who is braving the winter with us, Paul Arvery and Kelly Barta producing this game. For Peter Fivefoot, my name is Zach Small, reminding you to stay frosty. Final score here, the Jackson Lions FC 2 and Cabras FC 1. We'll see you next time. Looks for the combination, back to the middle of the strike, and he scores! Oh, what a series of plays right there. Get it, it's off to take it himself in the middle. Long roll across, gets it to Alvarez. Alvarez looking for space with the strike, a little bit of bend on it, and ultimately is saved by Erlenborn, his second stop. As there we go again with Lopez. Lopez has Ali in front too, and he is behind the defenders, but Lopez is going to make the long run. Ali with a little backwards pass, plenty of room, side of the keeper, off the post, and just swatting it ahead. Oh, a couple of luck
contact because you're just not going to be able to settle those.
Here's Ali, kicks it over to his right side where there's more space, takes a long strike on a bounce, and once again it's stopped again by Erlenborn, who's been busy. That's his 4th save today.
These minor leagues.
As they try a couple of combination headers, and oh, he snatches the ball right away. Huge defensive play by Peterson, another long strike, and it's gobbled right up by Erlenborn.
You can make a move athletically, make him, that also gives you confidence. Here's a rush for Cabras.
Yeah, Ali's threading the needle back over to Geraldo. It's popped up, Geraldo recovers, now heads it to the middle. There's a big blast, and now in front, oh, not realizing how close he was to the ball.
Not to be proud about when you look at how you were tending the goal for the Jackson Lions. He takes another tremendous stop.
Yeah, he makes a stop. It was right at him, but he did seal off the edge.
Might be what they need.
Well, they certainly need to get a little bit more aggressive offensively because that's what worked, and they're able to play defense via their offense. So they got a good cross to their number 9 here. One defender stays in front, puts hands behind his back, and it's a great stop by the 23 of Matteo Landino.
We're talking about professional soccer before. How many times, even though they were a top-tier goal-scoring team, how many times in the early 2000s? Oh, here's a run.
Here we go for Ali, and this time he's onside. He has room in front, one defender in tow, sends it off to the side, and it's deflected away.
That's another thing, though, that from them is that when you're an offensive team that's struggling, it also says, hey, if we make some mistakes, our goalie's going to bail us out. Maybe we do
There's
have a chance.
Messiah! And he's able to make it happen. There we go. Whatever velocity we're seeing some of these blasts come through at.
And the water also hits your glove.
And it looks like they tripped him down. Messiah's got it all alone. Moves to the side, shakes and bakes around the defender, tip through, and he scores. But that might be a little bit of a controversial play.